caps there. These are cradle bolts that hold those on to drive line. I've got extra of those. This is a small D-clip that I wouldn't trust a truck with. It's only 1 ton. Ratchet straps, extremely universal. Tying stuff down, keeping your motor mounts where they're supposed to be. Let's see, I've got multiple pairs actually. It's also important to, anytime you've got a lot of gear, a lot of heavy gear like we're talking about, our tools and stuff like that, you need to have that stuff secure. And I'll show you something else that I use to keep stuff down. But you know, the case of rollovers, accidents, you don't want this heavy stuff flying through the air. I can't stress that enough. You know, make sure your jacks are tied down, make sure they're secured where they're supposed to be. You know, you don't want that stuff, you know, flying through the air and impacting 40 miles an hour, and this thing comes shooting towards the back of your head from wherever you had it sitting. It's not going to be a pretty sight. So, you know, you can put some eye bolts through the floor, whatever you need to do. Something to attach. You know, you can run a ratchet strap, keep everything secure. You can turn your truck upside down, roll it down a hill, and the top may cave in, you know, but your stuff's not going to hit you in the back of the head. And that, believe it or not, is a huge amount of injuries that happen while you're off-roading or during accidents, is flying objects within the cab. Sort of back on that, being prepared. In this bag I also have a stainless steel braided brake line. Fits my front brakes. I had one wear out, so when I got a new one I got 2, so I have an extra one. You know, I bought these back when I actually got the truck. Older trucks are notorious for having rust particles and stuff and gunk in your gas tank. So what I do is I replace the fuel pump and I put a filter before the fuel pump and after. And these see-through ones are real nice because you can see if there's filling up with gunk, if you've got problems, you can kind of see if fuel is flowing through there to help figure out why your truck isn't starting. You know, if there's no fuel in this little fuel bowl here, you know you're not getting fuel. So it's either clogged, you're out of gas, or your fuel pump doesn't work. So some of those little diagnostic things are nice. Like I said, anytime, these are bolts to keep my hub in place. This is a socket to get the hub out. You would never be able to do that without that. Just a hand cleaner, some various stuff. But remember, when you're replacing things on your car, and if you're not a mechanic, I am not a mechanic, you know, you just learn as you go. This is what I recommend you do. Next time you need to change your oil, go down there, you know, buy your oil, buy your oil filter, you know, thing to catch the oil in, talk to the guy, make sure you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. And I would recommend buying twice as much stuff so you can do it next time. And don't do it because it's cheaper than going to the Jiffy Lube. Do it because this is your vehicle. You need to know how to do this stuff. And it's a great confidence builder. You know, start with changing your oil. Start with changing your windshield wipers, your headlights, you know, that kind of stuff. Start slow, simple. Work up to spark plugs and tune-up maintenance. You know, your cap and rotors and stuff like that. You know, learn how to take care of your own car. I think is incredibly important. Same, you know, fan belts. We'll get into later when we go over the engine. I've got multiple fan belts on my truck, 2 in the same area. But you know, I bought an extra one when I bought those. You know, they can go out. I've had mine go out. Luckily, because I have a dual belt system, I was fine. I just put it back on. But that's where we're at. Alright, so I want to cover safety items. This is kind of an all open subject. This includes, you know, making sure your brakes work, you know, making sure you have good tires on your truck or car, any of that kind of stuff. You know, make sure jumper cables are great. I guess it's not really a safety item, but highly recommend them. You know, if you do have to be on the side of the road, this orange cone, I haven't had to use it yet, but it's a great idea. It's super reflective, and it folds down to nothing. You know, really, it's a pretty good idea. There are electronic flashers. You know, make sure your hazards work. The ever popular flare. Not only safety, but kind of filling on a little trick here. You light these guys. That's all crumbly. I wonder if this is even in date. These guys burn extremely hot, and there's a trick you can use for them. If you need to burn a 1/2 inch hole through 1/4 inch steel, it's going to take you a lot of drilling. Even if even if you happen to have a drill with you and the bit, you're going to run out of battery power pretty soon before that happens. If you have air tools, maybe you're in better luck. Maybe you come to, I don't know, hypothetically, a forest road and it's blocked off with a gate. This could easily burn through that lock. Just saying. Maybe you got locked in by accident, which actually happened to a friend of mine. He was up there for multiple days. The gate wasn't shut when he went up there. He came back and the gate was shut. Turned out some of the land that was up there was a private owner, and he locked it on his way out. Obviously, Forest Service and that landowner both had keys that lock. My buddy didn't. He was in perfectly legal rights to be up there camping. The owner decided to lock it, and didn't think anyone else was up there. Luckily, by that time, he was low enough in elevation. His cell phone did work. He called Forest Service, and they came out and rescued him. But this will cut through heavy steel. Make sure you have gloves, eye protection, don't breathe in the fumes, that kind of stuff. But these little flares are extremely versatile. And that goes on to safety with fire extinguisher. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher. I know it sounds like a silly and over-the-top thing, and you're not going to be some ultra-mega extreme off-road or whatever, but you know what? How many times are you on your way to work, you're listening to the traffic report, and traffic's down on blah, blah, blah highway because there's a car fire? Whatever it was. Do you think that guy started out the day thinking, gosh, I hope my car doesn't light on fire? Probably not. What if you're behind the guy that lights on fire? You could probably save his life. And it's small. They make smaller ones now. This is just the one I happen to have. I didn't buy a new one to keep in the truck. It's important safety, especially when, hey, you're carrying extra gas. I just think it's really important. Maybe you're camping and your campfire goes out of control and you weren't the one that had the safety bucket, full of sand or water nearby. Whatever the case may be, I think it's important to carry, and that's why I carry it. Alright, getting into the actual tool bag. Kind of take you through the side pockets. I do have there's a chapstick shoved in there, there's a micro oiler, razor blade, Sharpie. This is 100% DEET. Nothing worse than being stuck in the mountains working on your truck with bugs attacking you. Socket cap set. This actually is, it's a bit set. Another pen. Let's see, sports, water resistant, sunblock. And that's in the side pockets there. There's a cheapo flashlight. I'm kind of a flashlight whore. You can see it still works. This is a River Rock. Uses C batteries. I don't know, cheapo LED, but it is metal. Holds up pretty well. Button doesn't accidentally turn on. I know this is my tool one, but I did happen to have. I'm just sort of doing this as I've got it packed now. I'm not going to repack it just for the video. I did have some electrical tape in there. This is a JB Weld, but it's in a putty form. Let me take this out if you guys have ever seen this before. Epoxies come in putty form, and what you do is pull this cap off here. You can see there's a black inner core and a gray outer core. That's your catalyst and your your hardener, your two-part epoxy. So you cut off a little piece of that and you start working it in your hands. A lot of these with catalyst, two-part epoxies will start getting warm. Sorry, let's see if I can get this back in here. 1 second, I think my dog's